10 Hut YouTube. It's your boy Major Spectre here, back to bring you another video. And as you can see on your screen, it is time for the EPC stream day 2, well, draft day 2 recap video. Some technical difficulties happened, so I wasn't able to stream it. That's why I said stream, even though it wasn't entirely true. But anyways, we got some analysts here. Gentlemen, please say hello.
Hello.
And Jack is here too. I can't hear him. Hello. Jack, are you here? Alright, Jack. Wow, Lucas. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I've been up since 2 o'clock in the morning.
Why'd we split up?
But yeah. We're split. Hello, Shaq. You want to be a part of the video too?
Oh, we're doing videos.
Yeah. Yeah. We're live right now on the video. Lol.
No.
Alright. Then I'll
We're not actually, are we?
We're not live streaming, but the video recording is live right now.
Dude, what the fuck? You're waiting for me.
Okay, well, Shaq's here too. Shaq, you'll be a part of the video. I'm sorry. I said I was going live at 10. At 3. It's 3:10 right now.
I was doing it. You.
Anyways, we're gonna get into here. Shaq, you can get on the document pretty shortly. So first, let's recap out, obviously, first team. We're just gonna go in sequential order as before. Day 2, I ended up picking up Sylveon and trading with someone for Nihilego, round 1, and then and that someone's actually in this group right now. And then he picked up Clawitzer for me, and I picked up Hitmontop for him. So those were the first 2 rounds. Next, I picked up Uxie, and then I just went down the list. Luxray and Mr. Mime. Gentlemen, what do you think of my team?
The Clawitzer was an interesting pick. It usually goes undrafted, and I definitely am interested in using it in the foreseeable future. So I was really glad that someone that actually kind of people actually notice its strength, because it's really, really powerful. Like, if you get it going, and if you get rid of that electric type weakness, and maybe if they have a grass type, you get it off that team. It really doesn't. No one really wants to take anything. Like, it gets Oyster, Dark Pulse, Water Pulse, and a couple other pulse moves that it takes a huge advantage of, and a lot of it covers a lot of mons that usually carry those coverage types of those electrics and grass. Usually, its pulse moves usually cover them, which is really nice. Mr. Mime, interesting pick. I'm guessing you used it as your fairy type, and that's what it looks like. But you picked up the Gardevoir, so I was definitely interested in that Mr. Mime pick. But that's all I really have.
Anyone else want to elaborate?
It's Mr. Mime just threw me off most of all. Just out of all of them, I knew you were gonna pick up Folksville because a big deal. But would you please elaborate on why Mr. Mime?
He might not be on my team, and when everything comes to a close, I mainly picked him up for the filter, and because people might be expecting the Gardevoir, I can bring the Mr. Mime to throw them off. Also, you might notice that I have a certain stat as one of my weaknesses, and Mr. Mime gets a nice little move called Trick Room that fixes that problem. So I know that Uxie gets it, He's probably not going to be on my team because I do have triple psychic, triple fairy. But really, I have, down to Lux rate. Mr. Mime was like the only, like the last pick I had, and I basically have every single type covered with every single other Pokemon that's on my team. So I don't know. I just want to use Mr. Mime because there is no box. But overall, what would you rate this team out of 10?
Out of 10?
7. A nice 7.
I would go between a 7 and a 7.5.
That's fair. And, maybe if Mr. Mime does get dropped, maybe that could go up a little bit.
Actually, I would if it was me, yeah, I would drop the Mr. Mime and I would drop the Luxray for a hazard control and maybe a little bit faster electric type. That might boost you up a little bit, but that's just me.
Anyways, we're going to move on to the next team, being Salamasters Detroit Cobalions. And he has, day 2, he picked up the last 5 months on his screen, being the Rhyperior, the Machamp, the Slowbro, the Dusknoir, and the Bouffalant. Care to evaluate his team?
Being as I picked for him in the first day, he definitely changed the team composition, I think, a little bit. He definitely turned day 1 into a hyper offensive with a little bit of bulk, being that Staraptor, the Charizard X and whatnot, and the Primarina being this hugely special wall breaker. He kind of turned around a little bit more bulky this time, bringing up the Slowbro and the Dusknoir and the Rhyperior. What you do like is, I didn't have bulk. All I pretty much gave him was a Fortress, even though you're already a Steel type. I like the Slowbro pick. I've been a fan of Slowbro ever since a different league. The Champ, I think he could have gotten something else in NU. Looking at it, I don't see a dark typing. I think he should have got Scrafty at that tier because Scrafty hits relatively near the game. It gets set up and it has a lot more defenses. Obviously, it has like 4 times weak to Fairy, which is not the best, but I would have used it more in that case too. Having a Dark, a Psychic, and a Ghost, those 3 rounds in a row, I think that would have been really good. I like the Bouffalant pickup. It's a low tier mon. No one really cares for it, but with Sap Sipper and bulk up and stuff, you can get that thing running. So, yeah.
Drake, care to add on?
Not really. Shaq already done all the explaining basically what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No,
that's cool.
You're fine. So how would you rate this team out of 10?
I would go an 8. He still has a lot of weaknesses that are a lot of common weaknesses. Obviously I helped out, so I helped out with this team, so I have a little something to do with that. So I can't put all the blame on him. Yeah, he just has a lot of common coverage move weaknesses. That's why he doesn't get higher up.
That's fair. And there, Drake.
Overall, I would say a good 8.5. I see what you're talking about with coverage and all of that, but also some of the moms get versatile moves to protect that.
Okay. I am seeing a bit of a knockoff weakness being Mew, Slowbro, Dust Noir, a little bit. So I'm kind of worried for that because that's near half his team is weak to knockoff. So you might have to keep that in mind.
And next, we're going to move on to Xavier and his Oakland Roth Raids. Day 2. He picked up... I'm trying to remember. I believe he picked up... I want to say... Celebi, Shiftry, Lunatone... Celebi, Flygon, Shiftry, Lunatone, and Rotom Frost, I believe, were his Day 2 pickups. And so yeah, just what do you guys think of Xavier's team?
I want to let Drake take this one first.
It's kind of like a fire move to me. Like all this, his common weakness is kind of fire. If he picked up the right Charizard, why? I think that was the guy who said it. If I forgot. He would have been in a disadvantage. Most of his mons overall is pretty fast. Kind of fast. I really don't understand one of his mons, but what's it called? I don't understand Lunatone. That's the only mon that I don't understand, but I've never used Lunatone. So I can't say anything for that.
Yeah, Lunatone was... I mean, I can see where he needed a rock type, but in my opinion, rocks are a coverage typing just with flying. It's a coverage type. It's not a needed type. And he already has a psychic type, being on that Celebi. So it really wasn't needed in that opinion. I think he could have picked up a different electric type if there was one available in PU instead of that Rotom Frost. Blizzard's, I mean, he has that. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. He has that one with Ninetales, but I don't know. It's good because he can run full accuracy Blizzard, but his team seems there's no bulky core on his team. It kind of makes Flygon run into a bulky roll. Makes Kekron into a bulky roll because a lot of his mons are just glass cannons, being that Scolipede, being that Alolan Ninetales, being that Celebi, being that Cloyster, with a special defense, and the Shift Tree and the Charizard Y with electric types and stuff. So a lot of these are glass cannons. I mean, I like the Fire and Ice. I'm a fan of it. I'm using it in a different league, being Fire and Ice with a Hail and Sun. But yeah. If I were to rate this team, I would probably go a high 6, but nothing over like a 7.5.
Drake, what would you rate this team?
Drake left.
Oh, he did, unfortunately. He might have accidentally fallen out. Yeah, he accidentally fell out. Just pull him back up here. He's on deafen, that's fine.
Alright. Continue on.
Anyways, sorry you guys had to see that, but that's okay. This is live podcast format. So next we have Dalton of the Buffalo Bastiodons. I believe his pickups were the last 5 on his list. So the Alolan Golem, the Absol, the Rapidash, and the Jump Bluff. Shaq, care to elaborate?
He adds more ground weakness, and he literally dug himself into a deeper hole by ground types using Dig. A lot of ground types carry fighting coverage. They might carry Ice Punch or something like that. So I think a lot of people that have a decently solid ground typing can cover his team, which is something he does not want, because 7 out of his Mons on his team, 7 out of 12, that's over half, are weak to ground, being the Toxpex, being the Gengar, being the Metagross, being the Alolan Muck, being the Alolan Golem, being the Rapidash, being the Infernape. All of those Mons are weak to ground, and he really only has 1 immunity and 2 resistances, if I remember correctly.
The jump bluff.
It's
Yeah.
2 immunities and 1 resistance. So being the Cresselia and the jump bluff are immune, and the Arachnid is resistant. But 3 to 7 is not a good favor.
Yeah. Drake, are you back or? Nah, he's not back. That's alright. If you were to rate this team, what would you give it?
Max of a 6. There's not a lot of team composition. The insane ground weakness. Like, when you get up to 3 or 4 Mons weak to the same typing, that's a little questionable. But when you go past 4, it's unheard of. So, nothing above a 6. So I would probably go 5.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's got plans. I don't know. That's all I can say.
Interesting plan if you're going with 7 weak to ground, but that was his draft. That's what he chose.
Anyways, on to Andrew and his Arkansas Razorbats. Day 2. I'm pretty sure his pickups were Doublade, Silvally, Licky, Avalugg, and Mega Blastoise.
Yes. I think I remember correctly, yeah.
Thoughts on Andrew's team?
I think the team composition is there. If I remember correctly, he actually has no repeating types, which is really, really good. Let me just double check that.
Flying. No. Sorry, not flying.
Okay.
Electric, but...
Yeah, okay. I mean, well, obviously, Silvally, you're going to have repeating types, but this man is really interesting because he has a lot of solo types, being the Entei, being the Shaman, being the Silvally, being the Necrozma, being the Licky, being the Avalugg, being the Mega Blastoise. That's like 8 or 9 Mons being a solo, and Torrent AST. That's like 10 Mons being a solo typing. So that's really good. I applaud him for that. Because I've been trying to do a solo type, a monotype team, or not monotype, a solo type team, where it's solo things you don't have to worry about a few weaknesses. So applaud him for that, getting solid Mons. Especially, he's used a lot of these Mons, being the Entei, being the Shaman, being the Licky and stuff in the PBA. So to bring those over and to still make a really good team out of it, obviously I'm mad about the Tapu Koko, just saying. But I applaud him. I really like his team composition. I've been looking into, actually, it's kind of ironic, I've been looking into an Entei, Shaman, Mega Blastoise composition. And for him to draft that and to see his team, it gives me a little bit more ideas on that composition. So I have to snag that in a future draft.
If you were to rate this team, what would you rate it?
He has good hazard control, good team composition, very few repeating types. I would give it a high 8, not quite 9, but a very high 8, maybe an 8.7, 8.5-ish area. Really good. Out of the teams we reviewed so far, it's definitely the best team we reviewed so far. So, yeah.
Alright, and on to Lucas of the Scrubbo Squiddos. His day 2, I'm trying to think back. I'm pretty sure that he drafted Jelson, Hitmonlee, Lantern, Stoutland, Audino. So,
yeah, I think so too.
What do you think?
He rounded out his Sand Core, which I like, getting that Stoutland. The Jellicent, I actually like because people really underrate Jellicent, but if you actually look at it, it's a water immunity. Plus, on the Ghost type, it gets 2 other immunities being normal fighting. And so, we're getting rid of that fighting immunity on that Garch, or on that Tyranitar, and on everything else. That's really nice. For Shannon, I just think that rounded out his team. Like, just if you ignore the Hitmonlee, if you ignore the Lantern, if you ignore the Adino, Jellicent rounded out his team insanely well. Yes, he has that Keldeo already copying out water typing, but Keldeo and Jellicent play two insanely different roles, and it works insanely well in those different roles. So I think as well, Keldeo can beat out fast water typing that a lot of mons really can't with water typings because they usually run bulky water. But then you Jellicent, you're like, oh crap, he actually has two water types. Oh god. And with that Sand Core being that, you can have those ground types in the Garchomp, so he doesn't have to worry about electric types and stuff. So I really like his team. The auto pickup was a little interesting. He has that fairy typing in Bulu, but Bulu only gets Dazzling Gleam, so I think he should have picked up a different kind of fairy, so maybe run double fairy in that case. But he has a Mega Garchomp. Mega Garchomp is really underlooked because it minus his speed. This man has Galvantula. Galvantula has Sticky Web. Sticky Web, Sand Force, Mega Garchomp is scary. Mons aren't living those hits. Slap an Outrage on that, even slap a Dragon Claw on that. You're gonna die unless you're a fairy. So, I applaud him for getting, first off, working with Mega Garchomp, getting that Sand Core, and then getting speed, getting that Sticky Web, so Mega Garchomp can sweep. Props to you, man. Props to you.
And if you had to rate this team, what would you rate it?
Same as Andrew, 8.5 to 8.7. I
Alright.
really like this team, and I can definitely see myself using it.
Alright, now on to Leo of the Chicago Infernapes. Day 2, I believe he picked up Cobalion, Scrafty, Shuckle, Rhydon, and Togetic on day 2.
Speaking of Scrafty, my boy Destrick over here, I like Scrafty. He picked up Double Fighting, which is interesting. For him to get Cobalion really during the second day of the draft was really surprising. Usually Cobalion goes around 3 or around 4, in my opinion. So props to you for getting that pretty late. Double Fighting is interesting. The Shuckle, I know people. I think I know how he's gonna use it. People are gonna not predict it, but then it's gonna come and it's gonna wall everything. I just don't see it in a team comp very well. I could have seen it maybe in a Trick Room team. And he can run a Trick Room with his team, and it's a little bit, not as effectively. But I like his team. I don't know if I would use his team. I think he's strayed away from the Tapu Lele, Heatran, Mega Medicham, Milotic core, and kind of, in my opinion, he has two separate teams. He has the speedy, hard-hitting Mons, and then he has the off Mons. So you have the speedy Mons being the Mega Medicham, the Jolteon, Latias, Heatran if you want to run Scarf, Tapu Lele if you want to run Scarf, and you have the off Mons being like the Scrafty, the Shuckle, the Rhydon, the Togetic, and P2. And so I think they're very separate teams. And so I'm interested on how his team comp is actually going to work out to see the schedule.
And once again, you would, out of 10, what would you rate Leo's team?
7, a solid 7. Nothing more, nothing less.
Alright, well next we move on to the Banbury Buzzwolves and their coach Johnny. On day 2 he picked up Speed Boost Blaziken, Vaporeon, Hitmonchan, Basculin, and Gourgeist.
Drake, are you here, or you want to explain this?
Yeah, I got this. I like the Gourgeist most of all because it can run. I think it can run large, small.
Yeah, it runs all forms.
Yeah, so I like that because you can run it super defensive and everything like that. Super offensive. That speed boost from Blaziken is a nice touch for overall. I like it more than most of his teams right now. I'm kind of one of the deck he's going to bring it probably most of his games.
And yeah,
The interesting thing is he's triple fighting. He has Blaziken, Lucario, and Hitmonchan. So I see
people rarely run double fighting, let alone triple fighting. So that's a little kind of turn away for me. I mean, yeah, he has resistances, being a Rosary, being the Gorgeist being immune, and the Reuniclus being resisted, and the Zapdos. But nah, I mean, 3 fightings. You could have gone something else.
I feel like
I don't know what you would fill in that role, but I don't think you needed that Hitmonchan. Yes, I see the Rapid Spinner. I think you could have gone away with one of those fighting types.
I feel like his original plan might have been to get Volcanion, but when Volcanion went, he was just gonna see how it played out, and if he could get Blaziken, he would pick it up.
I can see that. I know getting down to after 2 or 3 after day 2, there was like 4 or 5 OUs for Animons in general, so people were kind of shying away from OUs. But I don't, if I remember correctly, I don't think anyone changed the tier of someone's mon. They didn't pick up a lower tier mon for a higher tier. And I think he could have done that in that sense with one of those mons.
Yeah, personally, there is I picked up Sylveon, but I immediately traded it to Drake, for that Nihilego.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
well, that's a little bit of spoilers, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I don't think he needed one of those fight types, honestly. If I would rate this team, I would give it probably a 7.2. Yeah, I'll go with 7.2.
Mine's kind of low. It's like just those fighting types is the thing that it kind of hopefully he can manage to deal with it.
I mean, you run Hidden Power Flying, that hits its neutrals, or its super effective against Gorgeist, Hitmonchan, Roserade, Lucario's neutral, Blaziken's super effective. That hits a lot of his mons with Hidden Power Flying. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's move on to Gaxar. In day 2, he picked up Durant, Cofagrigus, Skuntank, Cryogonal, and Cacturn.
Drake, I'm gonna let you take this one.
I like his out of all the teams. This is one of my favorite teams so far. The only problem with me is that Comfey is just there to be fat, take all these hits, and gets that quality. It's a +3, I think. I get confused with.
Yeah. Triage is +3.
So if you try killing low on health, it's just going to drain Kiss you, get most of the health back, and survive another hit.
Or 4 of them too. I think Nick kind of falls under the same thing as Leo did. He has 2 split teams combined into one team. He has the Manaphy, Garchomp, Arcanine, Conk, Thunder, Sarian, Alakazam, dipping down Cofagrigus team, and then he has the Comfey, the Durant, the Skuntank, the Cryogonal, Cacturn team, and they're 2 separate teams that I think will work well on their own, like in team format, but I'm not sure how he's going to mix them very well. I was surprised for him to pick up the Durant. I don't think he necessarily needed it. I think he could have got something else. I can see that he needed that for the steel typing. I think there might have been something else different in RU for steel typing. He may got sniped with a Registeel. But yeah.
I mean, he could run a trainment on Durant and just give them what's it called, Trent, and makes them switch out if they will stay up.
True. Very, very true. You make a good point there. You make a really good point there.
So if you guys had to rate Gaxar's team, what would you rate it?
6 6.5 to 7, somewhere fall between there.
I rate it like a nice 7.9. It could have got a little bit more battle, but then again, we just have to wait and see how this plays out.
Alright, and next we have Not Sneaky Sky of the New York Red Boufflants. His day 2, he picked up, I'm trying to remember, Weezing, Sandslash, Ditto, Mawile, and Mega Aggron, I'm pretty sure. I think he just, if not, he picked a Mega Aggron day 1 and then picked up Heliolisk, like, first thing day 2.
Yeah, I think I think he picked up Mega Aggron day 2. Because I remember I was talking about him with picking up the Helios day 1. I'm pretty sure he sniped Andrew from Weezing. I know that boy loves his Weezing. So props to you, Sky, taking away Andrew with his Weezing. Andrew doesn't need more PBA mons. I think he just rounded out the common mons you need in draft format. Being that spinner, being that fairy typing, being that bulky steel and stuff. I think he just kind of rounded out and just finished off everything. I don't think he necessarily needed the Ditto. That's just a too predictable mon. You know, it's bring a Choice Scarf. You know, maybe you run Choice Scarf and you run for Torment on something, and then you just stop the Ditto and he has to struggle. So I don't really consider Ditto that very well in draft format because it's so predictable. Yes, it counter sweeps. Yes, it's if you set up and then it just comes in these counter sweeps. That's a possibility. But people have learned Ditto and like learned how it's used in draft format, and it just gets countered 99% of the time. So unless guy can get to that 1% and work insanely well, it's gonna be kind of hard for him in my opinion. I love the Sandslash, just saying, but Mega Aggron, the Mawile I think was the most interesting pick out of all of them because I think he just kind of picked Mawile without actually picking what Mawile does. I think you got something a little bit different down there in that last pick.
And Drake, you?
Like you said, this was predictable and everything like that. It's just, I don't know, like this team looks hard to counter just overall from everything. Like that 3 regenerator mons just looks hard to counter from each one. Because if you knock one down and we just switch, it's like all the work went to nothing. And it's toxic. Then again, among the whatever that mon is, has wish and just can pass wish around.
Yeah, that 3-mon regenerator core. And with that being said, what do you guys rate Sky's team?
7.3.
I'm gonna do that 7.3. I think that's a solid number right there.
Alright, so, and we move down the list. We got Jack and his Las Vegas Larvatars. And day 2, I believe he picked up the Decidueye I believe he picked up the Decidueye, Drapion, Regice. Oh, I skipped the Electros. Sorry. Decidueye, Electros, Drapion, Regice, and Probopass. What do you guys...
I like his composition, but I also don't like his composition. And here's why. Lop, Electros, Donphin, Decidueye, Suicune, Volcarona, Latios. Perfect. Right there. That is in my opinion, that is a really good. These are the mons you want to pick in draft format. Decidueye can be moved around a little bit. Foragers can be moved in and out, obviously. The Probopass, the Regice, the Decidueye if it's a thing, and the Skarmory. I love Skarmory. I'm so glad to use the PBA, but I just think it's another team that falls off with the split teams combining into one. I think he could have did a lot better in the lower tier drafts, and if he had the composition of he did in his day one, and put it into his day two, this team could be a top tier threat. And it is with the first day drafts, but I think with his second day drafts, it makes him, in my opinion, less of a threat.
Drake.
That's what I would say about him.
Same. The only thing that really, the only one that I like that I used before was Reggie Ice, and Reggie Ice doesn't have the greatest move forward. I mean, it has some good moves, but overall, it's just there to try to like the top.
So, with that, what do you guys rate Jack's team?
Doing to the day two dropping down picks, I would, if he had his intensity of day one picks, I would give him a 9. But doing that dropping down, I would give him 7.8 to 8, somewhere in that high 7 range to mid 8 range. So, yeah.
And Drake?
I give them a 18.
You give him a what? I'm sorry.
8. I give him a rating of 8.
Okay. Alright, and next we have Lucario Knight of the Miami Infernapes. Day 2, he picked up Blastoise, Ambor, Mesprit, across the Langolele.
I'm just going to say this right now. I'm not going to talk about it. This man deserves an 8.5. Right now. He has Kartana. He has Mimikyu. He has Blissey. He has Crocodile. He has Blastoise. He has Emboar. He has Mega Pidgeot. He has Thunderside. This man has threats. That is scary to think about. I would draft this team 100%. The only one I would change out on this team would be Mesprit. And that would be for another psychic type. Maybe a Reuniclus. If this man had a Reuniclus, this man deserves a 9.5. Like, this team is full of so many threats. Obviously, I love Mimikyu. I'll never not love Mimikyu. Mimikyu is part of me now. He built around Mimikyu that I never thought I could build around. And me now seeing this team, this just gives me 1,000 more ideas in the PBA to use. And you guys should be scared in the PBA because if I know how to use Mimikyu and I know how to use Mimikyu and I can draft like this, y'all should be scared. And y'all should be scared in the EPC because I do not want to face this team. This man has threats. This man deserves an 8.5 near 9. Well deserved. Well fucking deserved.
Drake?
Enough said.
It's true. His team is one of the biggest threats on. I like Mesprit, but to me, Azoth is kind of better in my own opinion. It's just that he has enough support and has a well-balanced team. If I can rate this, I give it a good 8.9.
Like, I don't think no one's topping his team with ratings. And that's including my team. I'm not being biased at all. Like, this man deserves the highest rating team, guaranteed. He has the best combos. He has great cores, being the Kartana and the Blastoise and Amber, Firewater Grass. And he has Dragon Steel Fairy being Dragalge, Mimikyu, Kartana. I've run the Dragalge Mimikyu. I didn't use it with Dragalge that much, but he has a special bulk, he has a physical bulk with Kartana, and then he has Mimikyu for sweeping potential. This man has so many sweepers. He has Kartana can sweep, Mimikyu can sweep, Crocodile can sweep, Dragalge can sweep, Emboar can sweep, Mega Pidgeot can sweep, Thunder's Eye can sweep. And then he has the bulky core representing with Crustle, representing with Emboar, representing with Blastoise, Blissey, Kartana if you want to run a bulky. Best team in the league right now. Best team.
Alright, well, we're going to move on to Drake's team. And day 2, as we talked about it, there were 2 trades done between myself and Drake. Day 2, he ended up, after day 2 was over, he ended up with the Sylveon, the Hitmontop, Type Null, Leavanny, and Mega Mawile.
And Heavy Boss. You can take over, chat. You can say, you can talk about my team.
Alright, sorry, I was talking too loud about Knight's team. I had to cough a little bit. Also, being sick. I have one word. I have one question, I'm sorry. Why Leavanny?
Sticky webs. The only thing that came to my mind was sticky webs.
Okay. I'm a little worried about your fire weakness being the Amoonguss, the Heracross, and Leavanny. It's not, and the Mega Mawile. I see your counters to it being the Salamence, the Northern Heat, and the Archops, and the Greninja. Still a little worried. The only I can really think of which you could use a little bit more physical bulk. The only physical ones I see you putting on out is that Amoonguss, so it puts into that physical defense role. Where it wants to be a little bit more towards the special role. But that's really the only problems with your team. It's a solid 7.5, 8 team.
And
I can't make my own team. So.
yeah. I mean, I'll rate your team. I think it's a 7 to 7.5. If I had to pinpoint an exact number, I'd say 7.2. It's solid. Like you said, what really holds you down is the fact that you don't have very many physical walls, and that fire type weakness mainly. But once again, you do have that Greninja, which can pretty much alone get rid of that, but you can't always, something could happen and Greninja goes down and then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to Pokecrafter, coach of the Wyndham Wishy-Washies. Day 2, he picked up, I'm pretty sure he picked up Moltres, Frostlass, Komala, Rampardos, and Dusclops.
Yes.
Um,
I'm seeing a rock weakness, being that Gyarados, that Frostlass and Moltres. That's not really a rock weakness. I mean, he has a lot of mons he can cover, and the Celesteela being as neutral. He has a mons he can cover being Starmie and whatnot, and Moltres with Defog. It's still there. It's still a thing he has to get around. And so that makes Starmie run that Rapid Spin. It makes Moltres run that Defog, makes Gyarados. I think it might give you Defog. I'm not too sure about that. The thing I think that really rounds out his team is that Komala. Most people really underestimate Komala, but that thing is a wall. That thing can take physical hits, insanely well, and deal them out. That thing gets Woodhammer, Return, whatnot, Earthquake. I just think that's... People will just sleep on it till they're around, and you pick it up, they're like, oh, it's okay, it's just a Komala, it's just a low claw bit. Like, you don't think about it. When that comes in, it can run max, like, mid all HP, max defense, mid hit points with a little bit of an attack, and run Assault Vest. That thing will wall everything, and so I'm definitely interested in picking up it later, and I'm glad, and I think with this team composition, it will work wonders for him.
And Kamala cannot be toxic or anything like that because of the so I think that really helps him overall. Just like say if you want Zygote out and he has Boost and they're trying to talk to you, you switch out and you just throw in Kamala.
Alright, and now we're on to our resident Luxray. I actually picked him up, but day 2, once again, I believe that the last 5 mons on his list were what he picked up. So Swellow, Magmortar, Golbat, Raichu, and Leafeon. So, what do you guys think of Lux's team?
I think, not to like shut it off, should just like be quiet. His last picks were just ending his picks. He got a fast wall breaker being the Swallow. He got a fire type being Magmortar. gotta go about being defogger and just being a defensive. You got a grass type being Leafeon, and Raichu being a fast electric. He just kind of rounded out the common Pokemon to get, and just got them. Enough said.
Drake. All right. Well, show must go on. So, what would you rate Lux's team?
Oh, sorry, I'm like dying over here. Still mad about that Havoc snipe. I'm so excited to use Tactures. Yeah, obviously, I think he just went with a mod that he knows. He knows Tapu Fini. He knows Nidoqueen. He knows Braun. He knows Swallow. I'm pretty sure he knows Mega Galley, and I know he knows Weavile. And so I think he just went a very safe draft, not playing really risky, not going out of the ordinary, going out of the way to get things. He just played I know these mods, I'm going to use them. And he went a little bit out of the ordinary, I think, with the Bronzong, and I think with the PZ. But I just think he went with a very safe draft style. I would give him a 7 to a 7.5.
Drake.
What team are we on? My internet.
Luxray. The Pittsburgh.
Ooh, he's kind of have a scary team, but also that rocks. I think the rocks and stuff does kind of mess with his team a little bit, because you have Swallow, you have Go Back. I'm not forgetting Bronzong gets Rapid Stem. It's just
and not to mention the Gallade and the Weavile both don't.
He loves.
Yeah, it's fine. Internet issues, but it's like the Weavile especially does not want any hazards whatsoever on the field when it comes out.
Also with the rocks for the Swallow, Tapu Fini doesn't want to take a lot of chip damage. Raichu doesn't want to take a lot of chip damage. Globo is weak to rocks. Magmora is weak to rocks. So he doesn't have a lot of hazard removal in this case, and no hazard blocking either. I don't see any ghost types on there either, so I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah. Anyways, for your team, the Tyrantrums, you picked up Diggersby, and you ended up trading away your franchise to Gaxar.
That was day one.
Oh, Diggersby was day one. I apologize, but you did.
My day two picks my day two picks are Ribombee, Tyrantrum, Wailord, and Glaceon, and Ferrothorn.
Yeah. So you ended up trading away your franchise, and you had to fill your quote unquote franchise role at the very end. And I had a feeling you were gonna pick up Ferrothorn, and I was right.
Yeah. The reason I picked up Ferrothorn is in my original draft plan, when I got my perfect team, I didn't have the best steel type and I didn't have the best grass type. So I dropped Guard, and I was like, I'm looking through. I'm like, I was actually considering being Mega, because I definitely went different with my normal playstyle. I drafted speed, but then I got rid of the speed. It's kind of weird. My goal was to have 5 Mons over 115, and I got near that. I got 4 Mons, being the Marshadow Raikou, the Bombi, and the Bijo. And I was trying to go for Crobat, and I was trying to go get Frenier and Mega. Those just didn't fit my team very well. And so I was like, yo, I'm gonna need something more bulk, because yes, Wailord has that 170 HP, but it's not that bulky. Glaceon's okay. Tyranitar's okay, obviously being my mascot, and Umbreon and Snorlax I already know how to use, so I knew those fit perfectly. I wanted that Reuniclus. If I got Reuniclus, I probably would have taken Crobat. Oh, excuse me. Instead of that Ferrothorn, because I would have been okay with not having a Steel and Grass type. But I know how to use Ferrothorn, and my core of Umbreon, Snorlax, Ferrothorn is insane. I know I'm weak to fire, being that Beedrill, being that Ferrothorn, being that Ribombee. I do not care. I have a Mars Shadow. That's all I really care about. So you guys can continue talking. I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, I think rating your team, you're definitely close with Lucario Knight and Sky's team. I think your three teams are the best. Mainly because your team has incredibly fast mons that can literally kill anything. And then bulk mons that just don't want to die. So it's I don't know. I'd have to give you a high 8 or a 9.
In my opinion, I'm not gonna list up a number. I think I'm higher than Sky, but lower than Lucario. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I love Lucario Knight's team. Like, I'm interested in drafting that near exact team too. Like, oh, so good. Drake, what do you give my team?
He disconnected again.
Okay.
But that's all right. So I'm gonna say we're gonna look at the schedule reveal. So in this schedule, let me just look real quick because I have to nail down what is my. I mean, you can look at your own stuff, but what is the team that you're least looking forward to facing? Pull up the schedule. I'm just kind of stalling right now because I want to get there as well. I think personally the team that I am least looking forward to facing during the regular season is probably Andrew's team.
Really?
I think that he is the most difficult challenge for me, personally. Shaq, I don't know what you're doing, but stop. Anyways, no, stop, don't do that. Get it back to the middle.
My bad.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. His team is just real hard to play around, and there's not really much to it other than that. I think every other team I'm not going to have a problem with. My division rival is Dalton, which you talked about the ground type weakness. Olander Astarion single-handedly bodies his entire team, so that's probably 2 free wins for me.
Diggersby hits every model on his team super effective with 4 moves. So when I play him, y'all know I'm bringing Diggersby. Y'all already know I'm bringing, when Gak said, when I try to get Gak, I'm like, go Gak, yo, I really need this Mars Shadow, blah, 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 blah. You want to make a deal? He goes, what do you got? I'm like, I'll give you Garchomp. He goes, whoa, that's big. Because as soon as I join the EPC, I'm like, I want Garchomp. And then I drop it instantly. And then I'm like, yo, what are you trading me? He goes, I'm trading you Diggersby. I'm like, you know I'm probably going to drop that. He goes, yeah, I know, but I'm just going to give it to you because I think you'll like it. I'm like, okay, sure. Then I grab Umbreon, then I see outside Marina, and I'm like, alright, who am I getting? I'm about to get Gastrodon. About to drop Diggersby. What's a Diggersby? Yo, this thing is hype! So, Diggersby turned around for me from 0 to 100. And I went from a mod that I never even thought of to a mod now I'm considering in every draft. Because I draft regularly, excluding the EPC. I think I can get Diggersby really late, and it'll work wonders for me. So, yeah, just want to show that there.
Yeah, and I would be really scared of you or Lucario, but I don't face you guys in regular season.
Oh, I thought we faced. Oh, we don't face. Wow.
We don't face. So
Okay.
one of your biggest counters to your Mars Shadow doesn't face you in regular season.
I think I'm actually division rivals with Lucario, which is kind of interesting.
Week 2 and week 10.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. And what I've heard of the analysts, the 2 biggest teams, or 2 of the 3 biggest teams, and the ratings overall are actually division rivals. So I never got to face him in the PBA. Never got to face him in playoffs. So this will be actually our first meeting. We can have 2 meetings back to back. So it'll be interesting on how we play each other out. So
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's probably the team you're least looking forward to facing.
Oh, I'm not. Like I said in my interview, I'm not looking forward to anyone. Every week's a new week. Every week is scary.
And that's fair. I mean, there are some other teams on my radar that I personally don't really want to face. I mean, what is it? Week 5? No, not week 5. I thought I faced Salamaster, but maybe when we did the spoiler alert, the fucking schedule was messed up. No, I actually do not face Salamaster. I was gonna say Salamaster is scary because no matter what happens, if one of us is up 4-2, it always ends up 2 or 1-0 because we're both really, really good and pride ourselves on coming back from a loss. So since
the matchup will be between Andrew and Leo. I think those are really 2 even teams rating wise, and I think they're going to collide really interesting.
Yeah, which is right after our battle. So I feel so now let's look ahead to week 1 because unfortunately we don't have very many we don't have any other analysts, so this isn't going to be as large as it will be in the future, but what do you think is going to be your match of the week in week 1? I am going to personally say that it's going to be Hillsborough and Pittsburgh.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
I feel like their teams are just both very, very fairly evenly matched. They both have the kind of 2-team aspects like you were talking about earlier. So I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know if that will end up being match of the week, but I definitely have my eyes on that match specifically.
I'm going to go with something, not a division rivalry, but a friendly rivalry. You have Banbury and Squiddos. Both friends versus each other week 1. That's hard to do. So I'm interested in that week because those are 2 really close friends putting up against each other. Not later in the week, not later in the schedule, but right at week 1, they have to face each other instantly. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and then what do you think will be a dark horse match?
You mean like a flat-out win?
No, dark horse match. Something that someone might not be looking forward to that might actually be like a real good match, real close. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I know there's some questions, but just from experience I've noticed in the past, in the last couple of years that I've been with this guy, he's gotten exponentially better as a battler, and so I'm going to say my dark horse match, something to watch out for, is the Oakland Resurrades versus the Chicago Infernape. I think Xavier is going to pull some tricky shit, and if he doesn't win, I think it's going to be close.
My dark horse match is probably gonna be you versus Las Vegas. None of us people know Las Vegas, and I think he's gonna come out here with an interesting team, and he's gonna shock the league on week 1. So I think you have to prepare for that, because I mean he was a new coach, new interested, just got in through the voice, got in through the interview process. He has a couple friends here in the league. But I think he's going to shock everyone. He goes, I think he's going to prove himself right here and there, and I think you're going to have to prepare for it hard.
Interesting. Alright, and then what do you think is a match that is going to be completely one-sided? I'll tell you right now, in Minnesota, not Minnesota, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Let's not make this a trend, but in my personal opinion, Arkansas versus Buffalo, I think that's going to be a 5-0 victory.
I'm actually going to call a win here. I think win's gonna sweep me, and here's why. I draft irregularly. I draft not normally, and for me to change my plans and draft normally in this league, I know I'm a scary team. I understand I'm a scary team, but I think I'm not going to prepare as much as normal people do with normal teams that I should have. Being if I was a normal team, like I'm not used to being drafting in a normal style format, and it's going to throw me off guard, and I think it could hurt me really bad. And wishy-washy is going to bring the pain.
Interesting. Well, yeah, that wraps up the week 1 recap. I don't know if you'll be back here for the week 1 preview. I don't know if you'll be back here for the week 1 recap and week 2 preview video. But keep in mind, everyone watching, this week is an off week. This video probably won't go live until the weekend, but that doesn't really matter. Point is, week 1 does not start until Sunday, the 5th? I think it's the 5th.
Yes, correct.
So yeah. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you're hyped for some EPC content, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All that wonderful stuff down below. From now on, in all of the videos, I'm gonna have to make a separate notepad text document. But I do believe that I will put the links of all the coaches, their YouTubes and stuff like that, in the description of every EPC video from now on. Keep in mind, on my channel, I will not be doing individual battles. This is more of a commissioner all-around approach to things. So you will not see individually LAX versus Las Vegas in 2 weeks, in a little under 2 weeks' time. You might see it if it becomes a highlight match. Each analyst that appears will have a highlight match that they bring to the table, and it must be a different highlight match every week. Once again, Shaq, thank you for stepping up. We had some technical difficulties and some people not showing up, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
And
jumping in at 30 minutes into your video if it was.
No, it wasn't 30 minutes. It was like maybe 10. But
yeah, sorry about the introduction. I was not aware that we were doing it because I was doing something else.
Nah, you're fine. But anyways, thanks you guys for watching. Like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff that us YouTubers love. If you're excited for EPC content, or if you enjoyed this video. Without any further ado, I'm gonna get out of here. Probably make that text document that I was talking about. Yeah. This is Major. Out. Goodbye.